I don't think you'll find another room anywhere in the world that has as many people that know how to create music notation software.
Every day we have a stand-up meeting where we talk about what we did in the previous day and what we're planning to do that day, and that gives everybody on the team an awareness of what's going on, what features are currently being developed, and it gives people an opportunity to kind of work out whether or not they'd like to talk in more detail outside of that meeting about any particular feature area that's in progress.
The audience for music notation software, composition software, is hugely broad. People, whether they are composers, aspiring professional composers, real professional composers, people working in education, whether they're teachers or students, and they all have different needs, particularly as the needs in different genres of music are also different. So we have an enormous horizon that we have to cover in terms of the functionality of the program, and that's a real challenge. So we're actually trying to be narrow but deep. That's really the philosophy that we've followed through the first version of Dorico, and it will broaden out as we continue to mature the application.
When we started out this project, we all sat down for several weeks or months and worked out really what is this new product, before we even had a name for it, what's it going to look like, and how we're going to make it ready for the 21st century.
The software is designed to take full advantage of modern machines, and that helps you to make music because the program can be very reactive in applying all of the rules that we've spent quite a lot of time thinking about to your music. So you can see instantly how the music will react and reflow to the edits you're making to it.
It was really important to us that Dorico should be as close to sitting down with a piece of manuscript paper and a pencil as possible, and that you can sort of think through the process of writing or arranging a piece of music. The way that we did that was to sort of group together the similar items. So if you want to put in a dynamic, doesn't matter what the dynamic is, it's a dynamic. If you want to put in a tempo, then you just think, how would I write this down on the piece of paper? And Dorico generally understands exactly what you're trying to say and presents it beautifully for you. The different modes in Dorico make it really easy to do different parts of your project. For example, write mode, you've got the freedom to be able to write all the music, you've got access to all the different types of music notation you need. But then when you get to engrave mode, you're protected from changing that music at all, and you can really concentrate on the visual aspect and tweak that as much as you need to.
I think the thing that's really attractive about our software is the fact that we have been able to really go back and rethink problems and attack them so that we can say, right, this is going to be the ultimate package for getting all the rest positioning rules right and the core parts of music notation practice, that we'll be able to say, yes, we can do all these things. For playback, we'll be able to deal with all these cases that none of our competitors will be able to do because we've been there.
The important thing as well was to really think just about exactly what you're trying to do at the time of working on a particular bit of music, and to be able to let the user focus on that. So bits of the user interface will be there when you need them, and they're clear, and they can just show beautiful bits of music that you need. And the rest of it, you don't even have to go there at all that day if you don't want to. And then the next day, when you're doing something a bit different, you just switch mode, open a different panel, and everything's different, and you've got exactly what you need.
There are 14 of us in total in the team. There's 7 programmers, who are the ones who do all the really hard work. We have 3 testers, who make sure the programmers are doing the right stuff. And then we have a bunch of us kind of managery type people who work around the edges, making sure that we have our priorities straight, that all the obstacles are removed so the programmers and the testers can do the good work.
I was working with the team in our previous life, working on a competitive product, and very lucky to have joined us here at Steinberg and have the kind of the trust and the faith that they've put into us, really, because it's been quite a big challenge building something from scratch. We've got the best people in the room, over 100 years of working on notation software, in cumulative experience.
I tend to specialise on lots of the more notation-specific aspects, which is why I've got this pile of music notation books all over my desk and various scores. So I've got some jazz scores here and some recent classical, some Steve Reich there, and some Bach there, to try and that sort of stuff to try and get an overview of all of the different ways notation gets used.
I try and keep an eye on the way the team's working, and I think one of our big assets here is the fact that the team works so well together. We've known each other, most of us, for decades really, and so we've forged a way of working that is very collaborative, very friendly, very non-judgmental. We all tell each other what we think of each other's work, and we get along very, very well. And I think that's a very big strength of what we're doing and how we've managed to get where we are now.
We're still a few months away from the first version being released, but you can look at it as a small team achieving a huge amount in a short space of time. The world of music notation, the world of composition, the world of music theory is incredibly sophisticated and complicated. Centuries-old conventions, intertwining rules that are different for different genres of music, different idioms, huge complexity in what we're trying to achieve. And our small team, working with the support of our colleagues in Hamburg, has already achieved some things that will make users of this software really able to achieve stuff faster, more easily, more simply than they can in other programs. And we're very proud of the level of achievement we've attained so far.